ዘይትንኽነኽ ብደም ቅዱሳን ዝተነደቐት ተዋህዶ እያ ሐቀኛ ሃይማኖት ካብ ጥንቲ ዝነበረት ብባህርያታ ዘይትንኽነኽ ብደም ቅዱሳን ዝተነደቐት ተዋህዶ እያ ሐቀኛ ሃይማኖት ካብ ጥንቲ ዝነበረት ብባህርያታ ዘይትንኽነኽ ብደም ቅዱሳን ዝተነደቐት ተዋህዶ እያ ሐቀኛ ሃይማኖት ካብ ጥንቲ ዝነበረት ብባህርያታ ዘይትንኽነኽ ብደም ቅዱሳን ዝተነደቐት
Everybody, are you guys listening?
Yes.
What are you guys doing over there? You guys want to show us? Come over here and show us what you guys are doing. Okay, everybody listen to me. You guys want to do Mazmur? What Mazmur? Now ladies choose Mazmur, not this 2 rows from the first 2 rows above. Because you guys are participating. They're not participating. The first 2 rows. Not the first 2 rows. Unless they choose a Mazmur, we can't continue. Well, they won't wake up now.
Help them. Abby, help them.
No.
Abby, you're not part of it. You're part of it.
Nobody from this row and above, no Mazmur?
I know.
There's a go and oh man, that's gonna be too long. መንክር ግርማ ኦኬ መንክር ግርማ ኃይለ ልዑል ጸለላ ትብል መዝሙር ምዝማር በስመ አብን ወልድን መንፈስ ቅዱስን በአማላድነት ናዲና ቅድስተ ቅዱሳን ድንግል ማርያም በናኩሎም ፍሬያን ጻድቃን ሰማዕታት ተራዳእነት አሚናን ሀቢርናን ملاك يسمع لنا. What does زماري ملاك يسمع لنا mean? Somebody from the back. Boys, what does زماري ملاك يسمع لنا mean? I'm not choosing people from the front because those are the only people that are listening. So if you're here, might as well, use your time. So what does زماري ملاك يسمع لنا mean? What does زماري mean? You're Muslim, right? What does malaikt mean? Malaikt is what? Angels, right?
Yes.
What does yasma'alna mean? This is like pure tigrinya. Yasma'alna is listen, right? So may you hear the praise of the angels. Where do the angels praise the Lord? In heaven. So if you're hearing the praise of the angels, what does that mean? You're actually in heaven with them, right? So with that, we're saying two things. We're saying that may you be in heaven praising God, and may you be in heaven praising God with the angels. What Muslim do we just do? Aman, Malaik, do you guys know what it means? You can try.
And Aman is truth, and God it means like angels surround her.
Very good job. Everybody clap for him. Very good job. When the angel Gabriel came to Saint Mary, then he said, Saint Mary, you're going to give birth to Jesus Christ. Did he say that? No. No, he actually greeted her, right? He greeted her with very high. To a point, there was, Saint Mary couldn't even understand what he was saying, because he was telling her that she was going to give birth to somebody, but then she's like, I'm a virgin. I'm like, how could that happen? And he tried to give her the example, your cousin Elizabeth is having a baby too. And then even, it didn't make sense to her because, I mean, that could happen because Elizabeth had a husband. Saint Gabriel, do you guys know what Saint Gabriel did to, can I ask the question first? What did he do to Zacharias? He made him mute until the baby was born. The nature of Saint Gabriel is like very angry. But with Saint Mary, he couldn't do that because she was above him. So he came to her in first Luke chapter 1, verse 28. It says, "Rejoice, highly favored one, the Lord is with you. Blessed are you among women." This is how he came to her. So when we say Menkara Girma, like very amazingly, her nature, her just being is amazing. The power of the high is with her. Aman malaiki chadudua. Truly the angels surround her. When the angels surround her, what do? They praise her. So praising her, they surround her. So that's what we were doing. The Muslim that we were doing is what it means. So I'm going to go to that, why the church is very important to us. The first time the temple was built, King David wanted to build the church, the temple, but it wasn't given to him. And King Solomon built the church. And when King Solomon built the temple, God was speaking to him. And at the end, God revealed to him and he said, "I have heard your prayer and have chosen this place for myself as a house of sacrifice. When I shut up heaven and there is no rain, or command locusts to devour the land, or send the pestilence among my people, if my people who are called by name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and heal their land." It starts now. Now my eyes will be open and my ears will be attentive to the prayer made in this place. To the prayer made where?
This place.
In this place. For now I have chosen and sanctified this house. I have chosen and sanctified this house, that my name may be there forever, and my eyes and my heart will be there perpetually. So when King Solomon, built the temple, God revealed to him, and he told him, whatever you guys pray in this house, I will especially listen to you. When you guys come to me and pray, I will listen to you. God is of course everywhere, but especially He is in this house. So to our fourth point, what does God want? Every commandment, every law in the book is concluded into two things. One, the love of God. The second one is the love of brethren. So what God wants from us is to love Him first. The very first 4 commandments are about God. How I am God, do not have any other God. Do not have any other idols. Do not call the name of the Lord in vain. And remember the Sabbath day, or remember Sunday. So those are the first commandments that God gave us. So our first job is to keep those commandments with the love that we have towards God. So the first thing we do is God, what He wants from us is that He wants us to love Him. Why do we love God? Guys, there's a 3-year-old somewhere in there saying, why is everybody sleeping? You guys should not be sleeping. Why do we love God?
Because He's our Father.
Because He's our Father. But even before that.
As it says in Peter 5:7, because He loved us first.
Very good.
Good job.
We love God because He loved us first. How many people in here know how to play? Guys, I have to ask the question and then you guys answer. That's how it works. I don't know what you guys do, but that's how it works. How many people play sports? Everybody. What sports do you guys play? Hockey. Anybody play hockey in here? I don't either. Soccer, basketball, football, baseball, tennis, table tennis. Everybody play all type of sports, right? Were you born knowing that sport? How do you play it? Somebody taught you, right? The reason we love God is because He first loved us. He taught us how to love. He taught us what love is. And loved us. And that's why we love Him. So, the first commandment that we should always keep is that the love of God that we have. And the second one is the love of brethren. Brethren meaning our neighbor, our friends, our enemies, our mothers, our fathers, everybody. This is what God wants from us in His house. So what is holding us from coming to church, or from going to church, or from being connected with God? Holding things that are dear to us. We don't come to church because we were too busy talking on the phone. We don't come to church because we have to go to something else. We don't prioritize God in front of everything. We should prioritize God in front of everything. Peer pressure. We're not closer with God, or we don't come to church because some of our friends are they don't come to church. And whenever we come to church, whenever we do something that's related to God, they say, you guys are, what are you guys doing? That's so lame. You guys don't know what you're doing. Boys in the back. Boys in the back. I know you're good, but boys in the back. I guess he's not a boy.
Really not a boy anymore.
Okay. Everybody that's a boy, look to me.
What's up?
What's up?
Hey.
Can you wake him up? Wake him up.
Okay.
It's okay. I only spoke to one person. That's it.
Turn around.
Welcome back, brother. Abba Zosimas, one of our church monks, he says that the soul has as many masters as it has passions. The soul has as many masters as it has passions. So whenever there is multiple passions, then that passion becomes our master. If we have passion for God, God becomes our master. If we have passion for soccer, at the end, it's good to have passion for something, but then make sure it doesn't become a master. It doesn't prevent you from coming closer to God. And we saw how important it is to be connected to God, because that's what we were created to be. Pope Shenouda III says, true friend is not the one who truly loves you and wishes you good, but also saves you from wrong thoughts and doing, if necessary. So your true friend is not somebody that's always wishing you, good things, that's always loving you, but the one that pulls you from doing bad things, that pulls you from not going to church, that motivates you to come here. You guys have very good friends, because Santa Rosa people drove 2 hours, Oakland about an hour. You guys have good friends because you're here to learn about God, to praise God, but then also to become one with God. Who does not want to be one with God? Everybody raise your hand. Who doesn't want to be one with God? Who wants to be one with God? If you want to be one with God, you have to do, it's a two-way street. Friendship is a two-way street. Make sure your friend is not doing bad things, but then when you're doing bad things and your friend is telling you this is bad, make sure you listen to them. St. Paul said in 1 Corinthians 15:33, evil company corrupts good habit. Evil company corrupts good habit. Integrinya? If you have a bad company, a bad friend, then they will corrupt all the good things that you have. So make sure you choose your friends wisely. Laziness. This is one of my weaknesses. Being lazy. Laziness is probably one of the most things that prevent us from receiving the type of glory, the type of blessing that we get from God. When we are lazy, we don't come to church. When we are lazy, we come to church, but we're not even good in school. Forget church. When you're lazy, you're not even successful in life. One thing I will tell you guys, if you're very successful in church, you will definitely be successful in life as well. Because God teaches you the way of life that would give you a clear path for both the spiritual life and the worldly life as well. So laziness is one of the biggest things that we have in here that's preventing us from potentially reaching the best blessings that we can get. Another one is false start. We start with something that's very bad. We start with something that's inappropriate for us. We start very high and then we fall. We start very low and we don't continue. So the way we start matters as well. This is my favorite. Gathering for quote-unquote spiritual gathering. This is called a spiritual gathering. If we come here and not get anything, might as well sleep in our house. I'm not saying sleep in your house. What I'm saying is, while you're here, make sure you receive at least one thing. Make sure you get at least one thing. How we stay in the church. There's 4 things that would really help us. Clarity of goal. If you have clarity of goal, if your goal is very straight and you want certain things, then you will reach to your destination. Determination. If you're determined about your things, if you're determined to improve as a soccer player, you will improve as a soccer player, right? If you're determined to improve as a basketball player, you will improve as a basketball player. If you're determined to be closer with God, then you'll be closer with God. Whenever we take one step forward to God, God comes to us 10 steps forward. Extortion and struggle. Make sure you keep on struggling. Spirituality is not an easy one. One of the monks, Mari Ishaq, he says, "Blessed is whose cheek were burned with tears of strife." The one that never enjoys life. The one that's always struggling. That's a blessed person. There was a 89-year-old man. He was captured by a king. Ladies, are you listening to me? He was captured by a king. He says, bow to this idol and I'll let you go. If you don't, I'll cut your head. And he said, no, I can't bow to this. And then his friends were like, are you stupid? He's about to cut your head. And he said, for 89 years, God was faithful to me. I can't betray him at this point. So, struggling. Keep continuing the struggle. When you continue to struggle, then you will reach your destination as well. Particularity. You have to be very particular. You have to know how to use your time. This is not just spiritual, but even for you guys. In school, you have to use your time very wisely. You have to be particular in the type of friends that you choose. You have to be particular in everything. When you fulfill those 4 things, you'll be closer, a lot closer to God than you are at this point. What is our part in the church? Have you guys been following the basketball playoffs?
Yeah. How's it going now?
Who's in the conference finals?
Warriors and Rockets and Cavs.
Rockets and Warriors, and from the East?
Celtics.
Cavs and Celtics. Ladies, did I lose your interest? I don't know. Since we started talking about basketball, people are like on their phones. Do you guys know, there's a guy who plays for the Cleveland Cavaliers. His name is Rodney Hood. Does anybody know him? Rodney Hood, right? Do you guys know where he was from before he Cleveland? Utah, right? Do you guys know what happened to him at the end of game 4?
No.
He knows, he's been following. So this guy named Rodney Hood, he's a bench player. So obviously in basketball, how many people start in basketball?
5.
Ladies, do you guys know that? Did you know that? 5 people start. So I'm going to ask this, how many people start in a basketball game? 5. From those 5, there's obviously substitute system. And Rodney Hood was a decent player. And at the game 4, very crucial game, his coach did not put him in at all until like very late 4th quarter. And he got very mad. He's not a good player. He's a decent player. It's not like he's Steph Curry. And at the end of the game, his coach was like, I think LeBron James got tired, and his coach said, Rodney Hood, you're up. Go play. And Rodney Hood was like, no, I'm not going in. So to his coach, could you imagine saying no to your coach? So to his coach, he said, I'm not going to go in. And his coach said, okay, I'll find somebody that goes in. And surely he found somebody that went in and they actually won the game. But Rodney Hood was very mad because his coach did not put him in the game. The reason his coach did not put him in the game was because he wasn't playing very well. But once he had gotten an opportunity, that was his time to shine. That was his time to show his coach that the next game, maybe he could start. This is where we are right now. We all, everybody in here, whether you like it or not, you're servants of the church. Your time has not been called now. Most service in our church is done in what language? Yes? And some in Tigrinya. The people in the back, do you guys disagree? Is there any language that our church does? So everybody, most time our church service is in what language? Yes, and Tigrinya, right? This is the time where we have to be strong. The church is like a team. We're a team. Abekashi, the deacons, the fathers, the Sunday school, us, we're one team. Right now, the English service is not as much as we would like it to be, but it's in the progress of making it. If you're given an opportunity, you need to take the opportunity. And everybody in here has been given an opportunity to make the church the best way you can make it. Because the church is saying, guys, come, we'll teach you guys in English, and you guys can actually teach your kids. You guys can teach your sisters, your brothers, your cousins in that language. For what? To inherit the heavenly kingdom. How many teams started the playoff game?
32.
8, right? 8 from each conference. Am I right? 8. How many teams are now? 4. So all of us start the Christian life. Very few advance to the next level. Very few advance to the next level. And even from the next level, very few people advance. This is like the conference finals, 4 teams are in there. The next one, the championship, is going to be 2 teams. Would the Warriors be satisfied if they only if they only played at the championship game and not win? Would they be satisfied?
No.
They want to win the championship, right? I actually want them to win. They're my team, so they have to win the championship. And we're measured by championships. We're the players right now in the church. We have to make sure that the church is going to the next level. And we have to go with the church to the next level. Once we reach the next level, then we'll be crowned the champions. So for the church to improve, we need priests, fathers, mothers, and the youth. I'm going to show you guys. One person cannot do anything. I know a lot of people say, there is no English lessons, I don't come to church. But if you don't make it better, then it will never be better. And there's actually people making it better. Adasi is translated in English. Udasya Mariam is translated in English. The meaning of Adasi book is coming out. A lot of things is being done. But if you're not in that, then you lose out. Can one person clap by themselves? What did I say? I said one person. I asked you guys a question. Can one person clap by themselves? This is a question. No.
No. Yes.
With one hand you can't clap. Okay, nobody claps. Everybody keep quiet. You clap. Is that exciting? Stop.
Yes.
Very exciting? 2 people clap. How excited is that? More, right? The whole row clap. Now the first 2 rows clap. Now everybody clap. Okay, stop. when everybody claps, isn't it wonderful? So when all of us, when the whole body of church work together, we have that type of result. So all of us, the church is inviting us to come to church. The church is telling us that there's so many programs that we all could work in, and at the end of the day, we get the championship. If you guys are satisfied by just playing the championship game, not winning championship like the Cavs was last year, then by all means you can do you. But I like championships. In order to play in the championship, God is a merciful God. You don't even have to be good at everything. You just have to try your best. So God's invitation is to reach until the end. When the Warriors won, who got the rings? The team, right? The team and the owners. The fans get any ring?
No.
So you have to be a player. You have to be in the church. In order to receive a ring, in order to receive a crown, you have to be in the church. You can't be outside. You can't be a fan. I'm a Warriors fan. Steph Curry is my favorite player. But no matter what, I cheer for him. I get mad when he loses. When he had his ankle injury, I was very mad, sad for him. And when he wins a championship, I'm going to cheer for him. But do I get a ring? But in the church, if I cheer for the church, for the growth of the church, if I continue to come to church, I will most surely receive a crown in heavens for me. Because God has granted us that. My last remark. Second Timothy, chapter 4, when St. Paul was saying bye to St. Timothy, there's things that he said to him. Second Timothy, chapter 4, verse 6. For I am now being poured out as a drink and offering, and the time of my departure is at hand. I have fought the good fight, I have finished the race, I have kept the faith. Finally, there is laid up for me the crown of righteousness, which is the Lord, the righteous judge, will give to me on that day, and not to me only, but also to all who have loved his appearing. Did you guys hear what I said? St. Paul was saying bye to Timothy because he was dying, but he told him, I have lived a good life, and there is a crown waiting for me. But not just only for me, but then for everybody. So that's the difference. That's our championship. St. Paul was a very righteous person, but if I follow God's commandment, I can get the crown as well. In sports, only the players get the rings. And I play for the ring. I come to church for the ring. I come to church for the crown. If you don't come to church for the crown, then you need to start searching for the crown. Because if you're not receiving any benefit from coming to church, then you're not benefiting anything. Thank you for listening to me. Glory be to God. His Holy Virgin Mary.
ዘይትንኽና ብደም ቅዱሳን